Oh, I'm certainly ready to bury you by doing 20 minutes
I see.
before your shitty ass hour.
So I just figured this out because
before you do your sound effect comedy. You fucking second-rate Sebastian.
Today, we talk about...
I can't tell you how many times I'll talk about a topic in a video, whether it's medical, Q&A, sneakers, whatever, and literally people will ask me a question. I literally answered in that video.
Yeah,
Let alone I said something in a video two videos ago, and someone's asking me about it now. It's like, oh, did you not watch the video? It's like you have to be self-aware to be like, yo, everyone's not watching everything and not for the whole thing.
Yeah, especially yours.
Yeah.
Because, like, how much are they getting out of it? You know? Every single one of your episodes should just be a highlight reel because I don't have an hour and a half
That's
to
what
sit through all this
editors
bullshit.
are for, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Your 3 editors.
I'm looking for more. So
You
you
don't
guys
even know
are
their names? How did you find them?
Yeah, I know. One's Rob, one's or Robin, I should say. Or I probably shouldn't put their names out there, but anyway.
Because you don't know. I love how he I definitely know. It's Pete. I mean, Paul. I shouldn't have put their names out there.
Pete, and Peter.
Yeah, but no, it's funny you said that because this kind of ties into to putting yourself out there because your initial instinct is what's the negative here. What's the angle?
Yeah. But also, I think that's because that's where I think comedy comes from.
That's fair.
When you take in a thing and you're like, what's dumb about this thing?
Sure.
And there's nothing dumber than confidence. I've never met someone who's confident that I don't kind of think is an idiot.
Explain.
Well, you're very confident.
Okay. and you think I'm dumb?
No, I'm kidding. You're very smart. Listening to you talk about medical stuff, I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
He wasn't
He's a
lying.
very educated, smart guy. I'm just used to him fucking around on Wednesday nights and being like this idiot talking about his shoes.
Yeah,
His
because
fucking trash bag shoes.
Yeah.
because you're basically the equivalent.
Did you bring on your moon boots? You have the actual ones that have the right shoe on the inside, but then you also brought the shoe on itself, right?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought the ones sitting to the left of them were the ones that you had inside the boot.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all
as
one
much
shoe.
as I want to hate every single shoe you have, you got some dope ones. You got some dope.
Actually, we'll
ones.
make that a segment too. Hopefully.
I mean, I would love to look at all those.
Oh, we're
and
going
give
to.
my thoughts.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. Actually, I'll bring them over as we start to wind down here. But no, I think, and you come from kind of this lineage too. Although you're not as negative as you sound from what we discussed
By
last
lineage,
time.
do you mean inbred?
He definitely looks it at least. There you go. So
That face in particular. I be aimed that at the camera, you ugly motherfucker.
but it's I think you need both sides. You need the you need the optimist, but you also need the pessimist. Because if it was all optimism and roses, you'd get snake oiled constantly. Because you wouldn't suspect someone's trying to pull a fast one on you. So you also need people that think like you'd be like, this guy's fucking bullshit.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You need both of those things.
Well, and I think you have to be both of those things for yourself too. Like not you, the
I wish.
ephemeral you.
Yeah.
Where like we all have to be that way. And I think real comics like me and Ethan.
Well, I was gonna say when you said, "Oh, he's actually smart," it's like I'm the doctor equivalent of like a 10-year veteran comic. Whereas in comedy, I'm just 6 months in. That's like my first semester of medical school.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying?
I mean, we all are. Like, it was one of the things I was talking with Ethan about. I was like, I want to be careful not to like wax philosophical too much about comedy because like I'm 2 years in, you're 6 months in, you're almost 2 years in. We don't know shit.
Right.
You know, anyone
that's
who
okay.
actually knew anything would hear this and be like, those fucking idiots. Rightfully so, though.
Unless they're wise enough to be like, oh, they're only 2 years in. They'll figure it out.
I mean, listen, and if we're all still friends, hopefully not, in 10 years, yes, because I'll be on your coattails. I can't wait to leave you in the dust. But you know, if we saw the same conversation, we'd listen to these dummies think they have it figured
of course.
out, which is fine, though. But so I think you do need both. And the thing I'm trying to get better at now is because, like, I'm aware, and it also has to do with age. Like, I'm not 24, I'm 35. I'll be 35 in a couple months. Like, I don't have time to wait to get good to try to make money doing it.
Right.
And not because I want the money, so I'd be like, I'm rich, but it's like, I don't want a day job anymore.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to wake up late, read the newspaper, and then start writing jokes, and then not have anything to do till 8 o'clock that night when I have to go do sets. Like, the only way to do that is you have to fund it somehow. And working at the place I work at, where I have to be up at 7 a.m. to start typing shit into a computer, isn't conducive to that.
Jesus.
So like I'm aware that like I have to find some sort of balance of it. And there has to be something I heard in a podcast recently by Louis J. Gomez. He was talking about every show you do, somebody's going to like you. Make your content for your fans, not for people that aren't your fans. So every time you do a show, don't worry about people that aren't going to like you. You're going to get one or two that do like you. And then what I took a step further is like, so I should be ready now for those two. Not because I think I'm ready to have fans or like that I think I'm ready to like actually be a national feature or anything like that, but because like for the two I do find every now and then, just to have a reason for a website for them to go to be like, what if he is in my town?
Yeah.
You know, but then find a thing where it's like, here's a reason they should be coming back.
Right. And
And it's not just because you have your dates there, because I don't have any fucking dates. No, everyone in Denver hates me. Like, no one books me for shit.
But see, I think again, part of that is that self-loathing thing where it's like you're not allowing yourself to have the confidence, or you're not allowing
I don't
yourself.
think that applies to what I was talking about at all.
Well, because you're saying, what I learned is I got to play for the two people and not the people that are not going to like me. So like you hate my stuff.
No,
But
I
I'm
don't
like,
hate your stuff.
I know. But let's say you did.
Right.
Or let's say Ethan does.
We both kind of do.
Right. So, but that's fine. If you guys don't laugh at my jokes, I'm okay with that because I'm like, I'm not
100%.
playing to you guys.
100%.
You know,
and
what
I
I'm
think, and that's another thing where it's like, not necessarily you, but there are people whose comedy I don't really care much for, but like they're still fun people.
Yeah.
So like I'll just hang out with them socially, do podcasts with them in hotel rooms, and then never listen to their sets. but so what I meant is like, so a thing that I'm trying to focus on more is I by the end of this year, maybe 3 months into next year, I want to have a website together. Not necessarily because I think I should or am ready to, but because image is important and you're selling an image.
Yeah.
I want to start doing more road middling work. And the only way to get that is to have them think maybe I'm better than I am.
Right,
so that I can get good enough to do that. And like even submitting to festivals, you're going to get into more festivals if you have a website.
Interesting.
If you have content, if you submitted to festivals, even with your jokes, you'd probably still get in. Because you have a following, you have a presence that makes it look like, oh, maybe it was just a bad set. This guy's got 10,000 followers. He must be something worthwhile. And I don't mean that as a knock on you. I mean that as a good thing. Because
I totally agree with you.
eventually your comedy's going to catch up with your following count.
And not only that, but
Has
like,
to, right? I mean,
You'd
how
think.
how long can he do it? You know, I mean, we know somebody who's done it for 5 years and still hasn't got a laugh. I'm not going to say his name. It's BS though. Double entendre.
I got you.
That's such a clever joke. If you know it, do you know what I'm talking about yet?
I think
I'll
so.
tell you later. But that's a fucking great joke if you know what I'm talking about.
But I will say this here, so I'll flip it on you. Talk about taking a negative and turning it a positive. I see a lot of people I don't consider funny, and they're quote making it, and they're getting featured, and they have a following, and I'm just like, what is it here?
Yeah.
And then I tell myself, I'm like, all right, if this is fucking working, my shit's got to work.
Yeah.
So then I start doing it.
Yeah.
You know.
And I do think I think part of it is that kind of having this confidence to put yourself out there. So something that kind of my idea for my website is I don't want any stand-up of mine out in the world yet because I don't think it's ready, and I don't want. We kind of talked about this, and it's directly opposite to what your plan is
Yeah.
of every set I ever do, because I don't want anyone to see my comedy on YouTube now and have that be what they think my comedy is
Sure.
when I'm ready for
That's
it.
fair.
But there's other options, right? Like a podcast, sneaker videos. So like I'm trying to, I mean, Ethan kind of started working on like writing more sketches. Like I got kind of like a bullshit camera. Like it's a good enough camera where it'll look fine on YouTube
Dude,
videos.
this would work fine.
I mean, I think this is this a 6C or a 7? I don't even know.
Oh, so has the button. It's probably the.
So has the button.
It's probably the 6. Yeah.
Listen,
But
I don't,
6
love,
is
I
good
don't
enough.
love the camera on it, and I want a little more control. But that part doesn't matter.
Sure.
My point is that like, so finding little sketches that you're able to kind of do multiple of and kind of have some sort of content online. Is
Sure.
it fucking great, groundbreaking stuff? Of course not. But like, just having a reason for, let's say I'm featuring in fucking bumfuck Milwaukee and some old house mom with 3 ugly kids that all look like Ethan, because all the kids in Milwaukee kind of look like Ethan. It says you're funny, wants to follow me on Facebook. Where can I follow what you do next? Give them my website and then put videos so they have a reason to keep going back, so that when I do consider myself funny and do consider myself kind of ready, at least then the handful of people that have liked me along
Right.
the way are still with me.
Yeah. Do you have a website? No. Okay. All right.
It's hacky as fuck. Even like me 2
disagree.
years in, I'm just like, ugh.
See, that's,
Everything I just said to you, I hate myself.
See, when you told
But
me
I'm gonna
that,
do
and
it
you're like,
anyways.
I think it's a bad idea. Don't tell anybody. I'm like, I'm so glad to hear you say
Yeah.
this because I feel the same way.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't.
It's so great.
That's the other thing. I would never like. If and when this happens, I'm not going to tell any comics about it.
That's okay.
Like I've had so many, like without saying names, but like people within this community, which let's be honest about what a comedy community in the middle of Cedar Rapids is. It's nothing, right? I mean, there's funny people, but like no one's getting discovered here. No one's building a career off comedy.
and why do you think that is?
Because it's a shitty city?
No, it's because no one puts themselves out there.
Disagree, and here's why I disagree. I've known a handful of these little fucking idiots that think they're going to be the next fucking Bo Burnham.
Okay.
That send me links to their Facebook fan page and their website, and then you go to the website, and for 6 months in a row, it doesn't have a single date posted. And it's because they have the website before they're ready to have anything else. They don't even have a good 5 minutes, and they're worried about their fucking website.
Oh, well,
and I think that's the problem.
That's super amateur. Yeah.
Right. So I think that's what people like me and Ethan are kind of worried about, of being that guy. The way I look at that guy, I don't want someone who's 2 years ahead of me to look back at me. So that's why it's kind of like.
But then where's the self-awareness to be like, all right, I'm clearly doing better than this guy. I should just fucking do this.
That's why I left Iowa. I was the best comic. No, I'm kidding. I was the top of the food. No, all right. But no, I mean, you can't. I try not to ever compare myself that way. Like, you're not
just
better.
did, though.
That as a joke. Are you really?
Oh, I
do
see.
you have such bad sense of
Dude,
humor?
I've
You can't
had.
tell
This
when
is the
I'm joking.
longest conversation we've ever
That is
had.
true. That's true. Because you're intolerable. Not me, though. I go down like a glass of ice cool water. Right. No, I'm certainly kidding. I mean, and I think what's funny is what you just pinpointed right there is why a lot of people do think I walk around with an ego, because they don't know when I'm doing that shit that I'm actually just kidding. Like, I hate myself. I don't think I'm funny. I think I've found tricks that get crowds to laugh at me, but they just feel like tricks. I don't think it's genuinely funny comedy or anything that would be considered good stand-up.
Yeah, which is very classic of a lot of New York comics. They just don't want to put themselves out there. They won't even get an Instagram, let alone a website. And they're just like, nah.
Well, because I think, and I think it's the difference between like LA and New York is like LA has people that are trying to get famous, and New York has artists.
Yeah, but I think you got to find a happy balance.
Then that's what we're talking about. You have to be both.
Yeah.
You have to be your own self-promoter, but also your own self-loather.
Right. Yeah, 'cause-
rap album coming out 2020. Already got one out. Jameson
I'm
Raps.
holding the mic like
Bandcamp.
What is it? Bandcamp.jamesonraps.com. My rap album. That's real. That's real.
It is real.
hold the
I've
mic like
heard.
this on
I've
the
heard
album
it.
No, like this always.
All right.
Listen.
But yeah, I heard Mark Norman talking about that on some other podcast where he's like, "Yeah, man, it's just this self-loathing, but you know, you got to put yourself out there, be dumb."
Yeah. Well, you got to find that line of like, when does it make sense and when are you ready to do it? And kind of intention is important too, right? So like my intention of what I was just talking about, which makes me sick to even say out loud, but luckily only 4 people are going to watch. 4 people in Dubai are gonna watch this, so it doesn't really matter. 1 in East Germany, you know.
Shout out to you. Love you.
If I knew any German names, I would make a great joke right now, but I don't.
I know one.
The big one.
Give yourself the badoo on that. That one definitely earned it. Yeah. But so like, you know, you got to be a little self-aware. Like, so why am I doing this? I'm not doing this because I think I'm ready. I'm doing this because I want to trick people into booking me. I want to do these small penguins. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, there's a Loonies in Colorado Springs that like, a couple of Denver friends went down there. A couple guys that like don't get a lot of love in the Denver scene go down there, destroy so hard that the next week both of them got put on the show. You know, like, which is the same thing. These guys come through Penguins and people go like, "Holy shit, you're the greatest comic I've ever seen." It's like comparatively, yeah. You know, so I want to be ready for that stuff, not because I think I'm ready for anyone. I don't even think I would put the website in my Instagram profile.
But what if you never lose that feeling of being ready?
Good question.
You know. Because that's the path I see for you if you approach it that way.
Well, good thing you don't know shit. No, I'll tell you my path right now. You get famous, I grab those coattails, and I never let go.
So, okay.
I'm your opener for everybody. Me and you, body. We're together forever.
Let's play that game. So how is that different? Let's say I become a arena selling out, whatever. You're telling me that you don't think you're ready for a website, but you think you're ready to open for an arena act?
Oh, I'm certainly ready to bury you by doing 20 minutes
I see.
before your shitty
Okay,
ass hour.
so I just figured this out because
before you do your sound effect comedy. You fucking second-rate Sebastian.
I wish. Jesus Christ.
Me too. You want to hear my Sebastian? I do a pretty good Sebastian impersonation. It's like, I go to the parking garage to park my car. Attendant tells me, that's a perfect Sebastian.
That's an Instagram
That's
teaser.
not bad.
That's an Instagram teaser.
You got to get the high kick.
shit, I hope it caught it.
I
But
should admit
we'll
I
animate
stole
it.
that complete impersonation from Big J Okerson.
Oh, is that literally his?
Word for word. I am such a hack. It's embarrassing. That's why I'm getting a website.
Nice.
I am ready for a website because I'm a hack.
But see, I just figured it out. You, when you're talking about your website, you're comparing it to, oh my God, everybody. But then when I'm saying, would you open for me as an arena touring person? You're like, it's fucking you, dude. I fucking got this.
Well, that is I say that A, half kind of jokingly, but also B, like, I feel comfortable opening for you. Even if you became the greatest comic of all time, I'd be like, yeah, we're friends. He should.
That's what I'm saying.
Give me jobs so that I don't die.
So I think your lock and key is stuck on that.
What if it was somebody you really respected? Clearly,
like
not
who?
him.
You?
Well, what if Big J asked you to open for him and he did an arena? Would you still feel the same way?
I would suck his dick.
But not open.
But I mean,
Just
different
suck.
reasons though. Like
Yeah.
I would do that for the hang. You know what I mean?
No,
But would you feel worthy of
would
that?
you-
Oh no,
yeah.
no, dude. But so like, there's a theory I have that like insecurity when looked the right way is motivational.
Oh, for sure.
So you should always think you're not that great, so you're working towards something. I'm always going to think I'm a little subpar, so that I'm chasing a carrot always. It's when, we all watch these specials on Netflix that come out and go, what happened? You're my favorite comedy. Your past two specials were great. What happened on this one? It's because they were selling out theaters and they weren't earning crowds anymore, And like, how do you even, and it's not even their fault. How do you even judge if something's funny if everybody loves everything you say anyway?
Yeah, because you stopped going to the open mics a long time ago.
Well, and it's not even the open mics. You're not even in clubs anymore. You're selling out 3,000 seat theaters of people that love you and are just happy to see you. They're so elated that you say hello and they're dying.
Yep.
So when does a joke need more work? It's not even on them at that point.
Yeah.
But so my point being is that.
But you still love Bill Burr, and I didn't like his last special.
And you don't know shit about comedy.
What?
Sold it. I mean, we figured it out right there.
What?
Looks like you're going to become a drama actor going forward. Stand-up dramedy. I think that's your angle. Listen, nobody's doing that. Fuck comedy,
Stand-up
right?
dramedy.
Me and you, we're going to go sign up at open mics and just do hardcore emotional scenes.
I'd try it.
Let's do it.
That's right.
Listen, I mean, you'd get the same amount of laughs.
You already dressed
Give
him
me
up?
my goddamn drum roll. No, I'm kidding. We'll talk about that afterwards. You didn't like Bill Burr. It wasn't. I mean, it was great. He's the greatest. But you know what I
So
mean.
maybe you're that exact person. You love him so much that he said hello, and you're like, oh.
Certainly, yeah.
All right.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, that's part of what it is. That's how the symptom works. But so my point being is that like you always have to have a carrot to chase, and as soon as you stop chasing a carrot, you're not going to be able to become better.
So let me throw that at you. So you see me putting all my shit out there.
Yeah.
And but I hope you appreciate that I also still have that carrot sensation. I'm constantly trying to get better. I'm constantly trying
you're constantly chasing more followers.
I'm not chasing the
You
number.
have no idea what I'm joking.
Well, to be fair, you keep the same tone every time.
I do. It's called dry humor.
It's
It's a common tactic employed by Britons.
Yes, they do
by
love that.
Britons?
Yeah.
You mean British people?
I have no idea.
Brit?
No idea. I'm from Florida. We don't do things like talk good.
But no, seriously, it's just like
No, right. But
know?
I mean, I don't compare what you do with your social media. I don't think is the same thing as what you're trying to do with stand up at all. Because what we've talked about why you do stand up.
And he started his. It wasn't like he didn't start. his
Yeah,
page
you were
when
Dr. Souls 11 long before
Yeah.
you were character clown comic.
Right.
You know.
But I will say the YouTube thing gave me the confidence to even A, start doing small talk when I was eating alone when I first got out here.
If only to get back to those days.
And B, giving me the confidence to pursue stand up. It's just like,
Well, so but what I mean is like I don't see your pursuits of what you do on social media and your pursuits of getting funny. I think aren't the same thing at all. I don't think you carry this. Like you would see someone like with the social media aspirations of you and go, this is a guy that just wants to get famous. But I see, and from conversations we had of why you started doing stand up, I do see you want to get funny.
oh, of course.
And I don't think you're using stand up to get famous.
No.
I think you have parallel desires
Yeah.
happening. One is to get funny, one is to get famous, but I don't think you would really want I don't think you would want fame from YouTube to be how you became a famous stand up.
No. And
I think you would rather get famous from stand up and then people go, look at all this content he's had since day one.
oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
But I will throw an extra wrinkle in there. And this is what I'm trying to get you guys to not
my
appreciate.
fucking father, son.
But what I'm trying to get you guys to appreciate is like the days of like being discovered are over.
100%.
You need
Yeah.
to get discovered.
Also, who's discovering what? There's so
That's what
many
I'm saying.
comics out there.
That's what I'm
And,
saying.
Like, think of the guys that do get like. There's people that have come through Penguins. I'm not going to say names, but she bombed horribly. She's the only woman Penguins has booked in the past year. So go online, figure it out. She bombed so bad at the Wednesday show in Dubuque that she got demoted from headliner to feature.
Huh, I didn't even know
Which
that was a thing.
supposed to be the first weekend I was going to feature at Penguins, and since she bombed so hard, I lost my gig and didn't get paid for it.
Wow.
And I'm about that money, Sandra. You see how I act. You know what I'm about. I'm going to hit you up for $20 for that goddamn mic cord as soon as this is over. $17.99 plus tax. Came up to $19.25 non-returnable. You owe me. So my point is, long-winded way of saying just like everything I do, like, you're not wrong. Being discovered doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
And that's where I think we're in a unique time where like you can build your own fan base. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm trying to like, I do want to find that middle line of like artistic integrity, but also shameless
That's fair.
sellout.
That's
And
fair.
I think you're one of those. Which one do you think I think you are?
Oh, I'm a
If
whore.
you had to guess.
I'm a whore. Yeah, I'm a.
And he has artistic integrity, no art. You know, so it's just like, where is the line? You know, how do you get in the
It's
middle?
just integrity.
Just integrity, which is surprising. Consider, I mean, how well do you know Ethan?
No, I know him better than you.
Doubt that.
Well, we've had more conversations.
Doubt that. I talk to him all day long.
He knows me better than he knows you.
Oh,
That's-
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't quite get that Muslim translation. Edit that, please. Jesus Christ. Dude, how is my career going to end before it starts? I'm finally going to get famous for saying all the wrong things. It's just a joke.
You're going to get canceled on Twitter now.
Yeah, I'll be the first one with the blue check to get kicked off, or without a blue check. Fuck, yeah, I just ruined my career. So, I mean, so conversation over. Now we should start talking about how do you rebuild a career, because I just ruined mine.